and China, which is its biggest trading partner. And since the US has categorised China as a strategic competitor, that's made that balance even more difficult for us to negotiate. Scott Morrison has been saying some pointed things about China, but what he hasn't done is really criticise China. He's been talking about the system needs to be rules-based, that's good for everybody. The system, in some parts of the system, like the trading rules, they need to be changed, they need to evolve. So he's been talking about, again, this kind of focus on everybody pulling their weight, everybody working together. So he hasn't been hypercritical of China in the way that some of our leaders have been in the past.
Swedish teenage environmental campaigner Greta Thunberg has blasted a gathering of world leaders at the United Nations in New York for failing to stem the tide of climate change. About 60 leaders took part in the one-day climate summit. They were told the younger generation was being let down as the signs and impacts of global warming are speeding up.
A sweltering September scorcher in New York City. Not much sign of autumn here. And it hasn't just been a long summer, but north of the equator, the hottest ever on record. So today at the Riverside headquarters of the United Nations, an urgent climate action summit. This global body once more sounding the alarm. The world is losing the race against climate change. In this air-conditioned auditorium, the heat came from the 16-year-old Swedish activist Greta Thunberg. The UN hoping to harness what's being called the Greta effect, her ability to mobilise the young and to shame the old. And my, how she did that today.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you.
For the grown-ups in the room, it was awkward. But they applauded nonetheless.
Mr. President,
the world's most powerful adult only briefly stopped by. Greta Thunberg watched from the side, scowling as he arrived. He didn't address the summit himself. He's withdrawing America from the Paris Climate Change Accord. And he took the chair of a rival event organised by the White House at the UN on religious persecution. For once, Donald Trump was upstaged by a teenager with a furious speech that will echo down the generations.